Yes, it is finally back, ladies and gentlemen, and I am as happy as a human being can be. Season 8 of Game of Thrones was yesterday. I watched it, and I loved it. I gotta be honest with you. I got to be honest. Was I a little bit disappointed? Of course I was disappointed. I never wanted it to end. I wanted to watch all 18 hours of the 6 episodes non-stop. Of course I was disappointed. I'll get to it. I'll get to it. But am I excited as all hell? You bet your bottom dollar I am excited. This is going to be life-changing, generation-changing. This is Game of Thrones. So reunions. That's what the entire episode was about. But Game of Thrones Season 8 Episode 1 titled Winterfell. And that's it, because it's all happening in Winterfell. Unless it's not, but we'll get there. Cersei and them Greyjoys. Some exciting things. Hey. Get it, Euron. Get it, Euron. I'm ready. Okay, so there are 4-ish major parts. Really 2.5. But I'll say 4 because we'll have to talk about these 4 huge arcing situations. Number 1, Dany and Jon come back to Winterfell. They come back with the Unsullied. They come back with the Dothraki. And of course, them 2 baby dragons. No more babies. I'm sorry. Excuse me. No disrespect with those 2 dragons, right? That's number 1. Number 2, the other big storyline that's going on right now is the Iron Fleet and Cersei. Euron Greyjoy and Cersei at King's Landing. And then Sam Tarly finally tells Jon who his mommy and daddy is and who the real king of the 7 kingdoms or whatever is. Exciting stuff. And then last but not least, Tormund and his fire folk from the wall go to Last Hearth and find some really scary boy, which is some really freaky shit. So let's start with the biggest, the meatiest, the where we spend most of our time for the first episode of Season 8. So Dany comes in. Dany and Jon come in and they're doing that ride along with all the kings do, and everyone's standing by their side and everyone's watching, and Arya is watching as well, and she's super excited. You can tell she's excited. She hasn't seen Jon in years and forever, who knows how long, right? But instead of acting the way she used to, that's no more Arya's style. Arya's sneaky pasiki. And Jon says it himself. How the hell did you sneak up on me? But she's sneaky pasiki. She lets the little kid go by, climb up the tree, see the entire army, the Dothraki and the 2 dragons. It is massive. Massive. And I don't even know the numbers. I wish someone, if you guys know the actual numbers of the Unsullied, the Dothraki, please put it in the comment section below so we actually know the numbers. Because we're going to get to how many people Cersei has at King's Landing. So that's what happened. So Arya sees them come through, and then Jon and Dany go and finally meet Sansa. Before this season started, Season 7 and back, so the entirety of Game of Thrones, Sansa was easily one of my least favorite characters. She has come a long freaking way. Maybe I need to go back and watch more of Season 7. I did do a little bit of watch back, but not entirely. But I honestly, I did not like the lady. I did not like Sansa. I didn't think she thought things through. And now she is most definitely the second smartest person on screen, second to Cersei only, right? And that's what it seems like just with this first episode of Season 8. I'm not putting everything together just for Season 8 Episode 1. Sansa does seem like the smartest person in the entire Game of Thrones realm. And I'm surprised. I don't know how I feel about it yet. Good things are coming her way if she keeps what she's doing. If she keeps that up, I love it. And yo, Bran is creepy as fuck. Bran is creepy AF. I mean, this dude, no love, nothing, no shit's given. Jon comes off him a hug. I miss you, you're a man now. He's like, not yet. I don't know what that means. Are you saying because you haven't hooked up with a girl yet? Are you saying you're not just at the age yet? Have you ever never kid? I don't know what that means, but he's not human. We'll have to get into that some other time, but I'm not a fan of Bran. I mean, there's ways you could go about it, right? I know you're seeing everything at all times, but at least you're a human being. Stay with me, brother. Please and thank you. But he tells both Jon and Dany right away. No BS. He doesn't play games. Right away, he says the Night King has one of your dragons. He's one of them, the zombies now, and they're heading north. They're heading south as we speak. We don't have time for this pitter patter BS. I love it. That I appreciate. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Sansa, because once they get back to once Jon and Dany get back to Winterfell, Sansa's like, all right, this is my house. I'm controlling shit around here. So they have their town hall meeting or whatever you call it, and they're arguing, and the Northerners are very pissed off, upset, confused about everything that's happening. They're like, Jon, we made you king 3 days ago, homeboy. You leave us for a week, you come back and you're not the king anymore. What is going on? We saluted to you, we gave our houses, we're here with you, and then you leave us and come back and tell us you're not the king. They're confused, they're a little pissed off, and Sansa is as well, and I can't blame him. I cannot blame him. But he says, I'm doing it for the North, I'm saving my people, this is the only way we have, right? That's the only choice he has. I get it, I guess, I get it, right? But that's when the bickering starts, right when they get to this town hall meeting, and Sansa's like, oh, that's great that you brought all your Unsullied and the Dothraki and the dragons, but what are we gonna feed these folks? Again, she's not just thinking about who's gonna kick some ass, how are we gonna survive until it's time to kick ass? She's thinking, I like it, Sansa, I like it a lot. So she asks, and then Dany, real smart, I don't know what it is, man. Of course I love Dany. Dany's the shit. I love this lady. She's the mother of dragons. How can you not like her? But I don't like this smug, I run shit wherever I go, there should be a red carpet. Relax. You in someone's home. Show some respect. But I do like how she was like, I am your queen, number one. And when Sansa said, what do dragons eat? What do dragons even eat? After saying there's not enough food for all of these soldiers, what do dragons even eat? Dany is like, whatever they want. Boo boo. Whew. You feel that shit? The tension is in the air, baby. The tension. Someone's gonna get fucked up. What are these girls gonna get up? I'm excited. I'm sorry. So continuing on with Sansa, she after the town hall, Tyrion and her finally get to speak to each other. And once they talking, and this is when the lines start coming out, because we all know Game of Thrones has some amazing action. Game of Thrones has some amazing lore and all of that good stuff. But the thing everyone loves, well, the thing at least I die for when it comes to Game of Thrones, is the lines, is the drama, is the tension, it's the meat behind the bone. You know, the meat behind the action and the fighting and the reason you care for these human beings. Without me going on this crazy rant, I'm going to tell you, once Tyrion tells Sansa, many people underestimated you, and they're all dead now. Woo! I love it. That's why, Tyrion, I love it. Welcome back, Tyrion. Welcome back, brother. No more stupid mistakes like season 7, right? We're not going to do that. Anyways, but right back at it. And this is what I'm telling you, Sansa ain't playing games this season, right? She ain't playing games this season. Right after Tyrion tells her the Lannister army is coming up, she looks at Tyrion straight up and she doesn't, there's no emotion to it. She just looks at him matter-of-factly and says, I used to think that you were the cleverest of all men alive. And she walks off. Nothing, no more said. How stupid can you be to think that Cersei's gonna be brave? I know it's easy for us to say. I know that they need Cersei's army. They need as many people to fight as humanly possible. But who in the goddamn world, to this day, I think it was the stupidest idea to try to recruit Cersei, right? You let her know or you don't. That's up to you. Send a crow. Good luck. Bye-bye. Deuces. That's all. That's it. Anyways, we can't be yelling and screaming about season 7. This is season 8. We're moving forward, right? We're moving forward. And then, so that's it with Sansa. Like I said, this is the come up. Sansa's got the power and she's doing good things. She's saying all the right things. I'm loving it. I just hope she doesn't die in the next episode. You never know. You never know, right? And then, like I said, the Northerners are a little fussy. I am going to come back to Winterfell at the end with Sam Tarly, but we'll end with that. But before we get to Sam Tarly, let's talk about the Iron Fleet and Cersei at King's Landing. Because that's how we get back to Cersei's life and back to King's Landing, where we finally get to see the Golden Compass. They're coming in on the Iron Fleet with Euron Greyjoy, and they finally get there, right? and Cersei's excited. They have that meeting. She brings in Euron, she brings in the general, and asks them the actual numbers. And the reason I wanted to know the numbers in the comment section below. So please, if you actually know the numbers of the Dothraki and the Unsullied and all of that good stuff on the northern side, please let me know, because I want to compare and contrast. And I don't even know how many of the Lannister army they still have. I would love to know the actual numbers. So if you do know, I know y'all, someone out there does, please put it in the comment section below. But with that being said, Cersei's excited. She's giddy. She's like, ooh, I'm finally getting my army. I'm finally getting my army. And she definitely gets that army, but she's a little pissed, right? Because she was promised some elephants. She got the 20,000 men, she got the 2,000 horses, but she was promised some elephants and she didn't get her goddamn elephants. I loved it. And there was a little humor in this episode. Actually, a lot of humor. I loved it all. And one of the jokes that really got me, real chuckling, LOLing real talk, was when Euron was like, I had to get rid of some of the men, they cheated at dice. Or maybe I cheated. Love it. Love Game of Thrones, man. It's a good time to be alive. It's a goddamn good time to be alive, right? So that happens. And after that meeting, the Golden Compass general walks away, and Euron's like, look, boo-boo, I gave you what you asked me for, so it's now time for me to collect. And he's not looking for money. He's not looking for fame. He doesn't want a house. He doesn't want a castle. He wants to get it on with the queen. He wants to rock the queen's world. And Homeboy has no filter. He says what he says and he means what he says. And it's kind of incredible. It's kind of incredible. And again, back to those lines. Those amazing lines from Game of Thrones. Cersei looks at the man and says, if you wanted a whore, go buy one. If you want a queen, you gotta earn one. She walks away, and Euron doesn't give up. Homeboy just smirks and says, but my heart is, I'm not feeling any affection. I need a little bit more than what you got, right? And then Cersei turns around and says, I've killed men for much lesser than what you're doing right now. And then Euron's not even a breath of hesitation, steps up and says, boo-boo, they were lesser men. Oh. You gotta respect it, right? You gotta respect, because Cersei herself respected it. And there's only one thing you have to understand. If Cersei respects something or someone in Game of Thrones, you bet your ass you better respect that something or someone in Game of Thrones. So she respected it. She said, come on back and let's get it on. Hey, go Euron, go Cersei. Yeah, I'm excited. I really like Cersei. Doesn't fuck around, man. See, Cersei is what Sansa could be. I mean, the good version, right? But she's not there yet. But I'm excited. Like I said, I'm excited for Sansa. I am. I can't lie. I cannot lie. So they're getting it on. They do their thing, and the conversation that Cersei and Euron had together in their room after they, rocked the boat, had a little bit of, oh yeah, good times, is the kind of banter I think we're not going to get as much from season 8, because you can tell there is so much they're trying to fit in this episode, and it's going to have to be that way for the rest of the season, because there's just so much going on. They are going to literally be 2 full wars if it happens the way it happens, right? The North is gonna have to fight the Night King, and then after that, the North is gonna have to fight Cersei. I mean, there's a shit ton of things that actually need to happen before the end of the season, and we only got 5 more episodes, so I don't know if we're gonna get all that banter, but I love that banter. And some more, it's just good humor. Just you sit there, so you actually end up understanding these human beings and you feeling for them. And that's what I wanted to get at. I felt for Cersei. I hate feeling for this goddamn lady, but I felt for Cersei. After they got it on, he pointed at her belly and said, I'm going to put a prince in there. And then she started to tear up. This, ladies and gentlemen, really got me to flip. Because at the end of season 7, when Cersei was telling Tyrion about the baby that she has, I didn't believe it. I thought that was just Cersei's bargaining chip. I really thought that she was that conniving. But she started to tear up after he left, and she didn't say anything. This baby is real. This baby is real. Who the baby is? It's most definitely Jaime's. I mean, who else could it be, right? But this baby is real, and it's coming. She does actually have a reason to live. Cersei has a reason to live, what makes her almost more scary than if she didn't have a reason to live, right? Almost more scary. The last thing that happens at King's Landing before we go back to Tormund and before we get to Sam Tarly is that Bronn. Cersei sends Bronn to kill Jaime and Tyrion. And again, more humor here when Braun is done trying to sleep with these ladies. The Meister, the doctor, whoever the hell that creepy old man is. I keep forgetting names. I promise I'll get better. It was just on episode 1. I'm getting there. He tells one of these ladies got the pox, the chicken pox, the herpes, some viral disease, and you see Braun like, wait, which one of these fine ladies? Just a little bit of humor, but holy jeez and Lord, right? Braun was just like, okay, I'm ready, let's do it. Which one do I have to kill? And he just takes the bow and arrow. I'm like, what? What, Braun? You're talking about Tyrion here. What's going on? I was very surprised that he did so without a hiccup, without a thought. Maybe he has always been this conniving, maybe, because all of the other times when he switched teams or whatever, it was very situational. He was on Tyrion's team until Tyrion came to the King's Landing, and when Tyrion got kicked out of King's Landing, he stayed at King's Landing, so it was all situational. I didn't think he was actually just going where the money is. And in the introduction of Braun, he said, I just go whoever has the bigger wallet, and of course I believed him, but I thought that bond with Tyrion was a real thing. I mean, he had a real friendship with Jaime Lannister. That was a real thing. And now he's taking this to go kill both Tyrion and Jaime, the only two other characters we've seen Braun have an actual relationship with in the entire story. I don't know where this is going. I kind of hate him for this already. I kind of hate him for doing it with such lack of emotion or anything at all. And maybe that's just him playing. Who knows how it's going to happen? But I'm nervous. I'm really nervous about this because Braun looks like he's about to do it. Like he's about to just get there and pull the trigger. I'm nervous, right? All Braun cares about is his castle and money. I guess. So we finally leave King's Landing, and then we're back to Sam Tarly here. Sam Tarly, my homeboy Sam Tarly, Mr. Dr. Tarly. So Dany and Tarly have that conversation, that very, very awkward conversation where Dany has to tell Sam, I killed both your dad and your father. Your dad and your father. I killed both your dad and your brother. The reason why, because they didn't bend the knee. And at the time of the killing, it was such a, like, yes, of course, I mean, we knew what was going on, but it wasn't that big of a deal because we barely knew Sam's dad, right? We knew it was going to happen sooner or later. But this shit was emotional. This really was an emotional scene. Sam was like, thank you for letting me know, after she just told him I killed your family because they didn't bend the knee. I mean, this shit hurt. It hurt. But then Dany was like, I'll pardon you for stealing those books, I guess. You know, what am I supposed to say? And again, more comedy, phenomenal. This episode was great. If you didn't expect the world, because I sure did expect the world, you wouldn't have been disappointed. I can't lie to you and tell you I wasn't disappointed because I did expect the world. But it's a TV show. It's not the world. Anyways, he leaves. He's crying. He's bumbling all over the place. He falls his way down to, I guess it's the cemetery. I don't know what they do. It's like basically the tombs where Jon is down there lighting his dad's candle. They finally meet, they hug it out. Yo, where have you been? I missed you, brother. You're back. What are you doing here? Love is in the air. I love it. The bromance is real. You got it good, right? So Sam finally breaks it to Jon that Dany killed his dad and brother. And then Jon is like, oh shit, that's scary. Sam asks Jon, would you have spared them? Jon's like, I've done bad things in my life based on honor alone. And we know that. Jon is the most honorable bastard Ned Stark's son he has, right? That whole Stark family with their honor. It's been killing them since day one, but they don't learn. They just don't learn, right? He said, yeah, you spared the wildlings. You spared the wildlings when they didn't bend the knee, and you didn't kill all of them off, right? So why wouldn't you? And then he gives the cheap answer and says, I wasn't a king. And then Sam drops that knowledge bomb. Oh no, Jon. In fact, you are a king. And Jon's like, no, I'm not king of the north anymore. That's Dany. Dany's the king of the kings, right? And it's really obvious in the scene, as you can tell. Jon really does not give two shits about the power. He really doesn't care about the power. He just wants to make sure people are safe. The people that he loves, his kingdom, are safe. He just wants the people to be safe. And then he's Gucci. Whoever is king can be king. He doesn't care for the kingdom, which is such a good... Like, everyone else wants to be the most powerful human being to ever have touched the earth. Relax. We can't all be number one. And if you are trying to be number one, someone that you like and someone that you hate is going to die. But that's another day with another rant, all right? So anyways, he says that he doesn't want to be a king and he wasn't a king. And then Sam was like, I'm sorry. this is your Lyanna Stark. Lyanna Stark was your mother, and the Targaryen was your father. I forgot what his name. The Mad King, not the Mad. Someone. You guys know who he is. And then so they dropped that bomb. And Sam was like, "No, bro, you are the king. The king of all 7 kingdoms. You belong in the throne. You are the rightful heir." And Jon is just like, "Holy shit! What? How? Why? What's going on?" And so I guess he just believes it, because why would Sam lie? I don't think you need to ask follow-up questions about that. But I also love that moment, because right away it wasn't like, "Oh my goodness, I am the king. I should go get that crown." No, it was like, "No, don't disrespect my father. My father is Ned Stark, and he's the greatest man to ever live." And Sam was like, "I got you. Respect. Relax. I'm not trying to disrespect Ned Stark. In fact, Ned Stark did what he did so he could protect you. Because Robert, he would have slaughtered you. Day one, boo-boo. Right when you came out the womb, slide, done. Right? So, it was another really good scene. I felt the tension, felt the emotions. It was real. I don't know what's going to happen. To be honest, like I said, Dany, I love this lady, but she is obsessed with the power, right? Like, she loves being queen shit. Like, she wants to be A1 sauce all day, non-stop, right? And I respect that, because she deserves it, right? She deserves it. She got her dragons. She's done all of these things, the Dothraki, the Unsullied. She's done it all. She deserves all the power in the world. Kudos to you. But would she give it up? And that's the question Sam asked Jon. You gave up your crown to save your people. Would Dany give up hers? Would she give up her crown? That's the question, poo-poo. And that's where the real episode ends. The real episode. But we go to Tormund, and he's up in the Last Hearth. Or I think that's how you say it. I didn't quite hear it correctly. But he's up at Last Hearth. He's just come down from the wall. He's running down south because he needs to get away from the Night King. And at this, the Last Hearth, where Sansa sent that little boy to go get the rest of the crew. The boy, knife in his chest, up against the wall with the circle thing. I know I've seen that symbol somewhere. I don't know exactly what it is, but if you know what it is, please let me know in the comment section below. I know it's supposed to mean something. Maybe it means nothing now, and we're gonna figure it out, but that's where the episode finally ends. I know I skipped a lot, because there was a lot of other things that happened during the episode, and I'm going to quickly go through those other things, because some of those other things are very, very, very important. Yeah, so some of those other things are important, starting with Theon saving his sister Yara. So Theon saves Yara from the ship, and they escape. It seemed super easy, super simple, but again, like I said, I think a lot of that's going to happen. A lot of things that you think needs to happen are going to happen off screen, right? We just saw a couple of arrows go through a couple of people's faces, right? And that's it, because they don't have the time to build the story like they did seasons prior, right? They need to get to the ending as soon as possible. I'm happy about it, like, because I want to see all the things happen. I want some closure, but at the same time, the reason I fell in love with Game of Thrones is because they gave us that extra time with things that regular TV shows just did not care for, right? So saving Yara was super simple. I don't know how. I mean, they're at King's Landing. There's the Golden Compass now. Euron Greyjoy is really about his shit. So I don't know why and how it was so easy, but it was easy. I'm not gonna try to pick this episode apart, but that's what happened. Theon went in there unscathed, couple of arrows, bing, bing, bang, took his sister Yara, and they sailed away. During the sail away, they had that conversation. The undead is not dead, or the dead is undead, whatever the Greyjoys say. And he was like, I need to go fight up with the North. I need to go help the Starks. And Yara's going to go back to wherever the Greyjoys live, the Iron Islands, right? Because they need somewhere to go if and when the Night King takes over all shit, right? So that's their plan. Theon's heading up north, and Yara's going back home, right? That's one thing that happened. Dany and Jon take a ride on the dragons. Of course, that's a big deal. I thought this was going to happen further into the season, but like I keep saying it because it's true. This is something that wouldn't happen in season 2. This is some shit that would have built up, right? They would have been a build up before they riding these dragons together. But I think they having Jon ride the dragon now, so the next time Jon gets on the dragon when it's actual battle time, you can have him with the iron, with the arrow, with the knife, so he can be ready, suited up. So they had to get this dragon riding shit over and done with. I still need to see Tyrion get on that dragon. I know Tyrion needs to get it. I believe Tyrion is going to ride a dragon. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. And then so that happens. I love it. They find this remote place and they get the sugar. They start dancing. They start grooving. They start hooking up. And the eyeballs, the Jon Snow staring at the dragon. I don't know what was going on, but there was something going on. There was something going on there, right? And then Arya and Gendry. Ooh. I think everyone is finding their boo at this time, right? Arya and Gendry, they finally meet up, but before they get to have their cuddly, lovely, all flirty, make me this knife BS, right? Before all of that goes down, the Hound is sitting there. He's like, yo, what's good? What's good? Where you at? You left me to die, boo-boo. What's good, Arya? What's good? You thought I was dead? I'm back, and I'm back for more. And again, more lines, more goddamn lines. The Hound stands up, walks to her. He says, step to me, B. And he literally says to her, which I absolutely love. What does he say? Let me say it right. He says, you're a cold little bitch. He gives it a little pause. He lets it settle. And then he finally says, I guess that's why you're alive still, right? And he walks off because he ain't no regrets. He said he would have done the same. I mean, the Hound, I love the Hound. The Hound's good people. The Hound is good people, right? So that happens. And then Arya and Gendry get to, do their cutesy stuff. He says, you look kind of good. I think I like the way you move. Yeah. Good for them that happens. And then the reason I watch Game of Thrones, I've said it before and I'll say it again. The action is fantastic, right? The lore is fantastic. The sex scenes is fabulous. I love it all. I love all of that stuff. All of it. It is amazing. But the reason you watch Game of Thrones is because of these three folks. And what used to be Littlefinger instead of what's his name? Davos. Instead of Davos, it used to be Littlefinger. But these three human beings in this picture right now, you're seeing Tyrion, Davos, and Varys. Those three are the reason I watch Game of Thrones. More lines from these three, and these three are the king of all of lines. If you go down to history in Game of Thrones, best one-liners, best quotes, it is 98% coming from these three folks and Littlefinger. 98% of the best lines in Game of Thrones, right? So, starting off with Davos, he says, and I love this one, he says, what if the Seven Kingdoms for the once in their whole shit history are ruled by a just woman and an honorable man? Love it. Put it in the bank. I'm going to use that 2-3 times later. Love that line. Love that line. And then Varys comes up and Varys says, Jon and Dany does not want to listen to old, lonely men. Tyrion can't take that BS. So Tyrion says, I'm not as old as homeboy here. And on top of all of that, Dany respects her elders and respects experience. But then Varys ends the conversation because that's what Varys is there for. And that's what Varys does best. He says, respect is how the young keep us at a distance. And that is so we don't remind them that nothing lasts. Ooh, my God. Nothing lasts. You know what that means right there? You know when Varys said nothing lasts? That means there's two options here. There's two options here. Either Dany and Jon are going to butt heads and they're going to kill one another, or one of them is going to die before the end of the season. Varys has solidified it. It is stamped, certified. We know that's the truth because Varys said it. Because Varys doesn't lie. Varys knows things that you and I only wish we did. And guaranteed, Jon or Dany are going to split up and either fight because they're going to hate each other for some weird reason. Jon's going to be like, I'm supposed to be king. All the Northerners are going to be like, yes, we want Jon to be king. And they're going to fight. Someone's going to die, or someone's just going to die, either fighting Cersei or fighting the Night King. And then the other's going to live forever. Varys said it. He made sure that that's happening. But those three men, Varys, Tyrion, and Davos, I want them to live up until the last episode. If they die 2 minutes before the end of the season, I'm Gucci, but I just love those three. Fantastic. And then obviously, because Twitter's blowing up about this, the final scene of the episode is when Jaime looks at Bran after he gets off his horse, and he's like, oh shit, Oh shit. Oh shit. Yeah, so we're gonna see what happens. Obviously I saw the what's gonna happen next week, and it looks like Jaime's goes on trial, and it looks like the war begins. The war looks like it begins in episode 2 of the goddamn season. Look, I'll say this one last time. The reason I got into Game of Thrones was because of everything that happens between the fighting, between the sex scenes, right? The sex scenes, the fighting, all of that stuff is exciting and I love it, right? I love it because it makes the show that much better. But the meat, the reasons, the drama, the lines that happen between those things is what makes the show the show. So if this ends up being a action-packed, every episode from now till the last episode is straight fighting wars, I'm going to be disappointed no matter what. I'm just going to be honest. I don't think it's going to work that way, but if you just look at the next, what's happening next week, looks like Jaime goes on trial, everyone questions him, and then the war starts because Tormund gets there and is like, let's get this party started. I want y'all to know any lines that I missed in this episode, please let me know in the comment section below. I love Game of Thrones. Greatest show. For the next 5 weeks, I'm the happiest human being alive. Can't go down from here, boo-boo. Can't go down from here.